What's going on, guys? Howdy. Look who
What's
we have.
up? The stranger's here.
We have a special guest appearance. Ryan O'Neill has joined the live broadcast. He's been he's been in this Halloween costume for about 4 months now, Ghost. So, oh
I
my. Hey,
am
y'all here,
I
hold
am
on.
alive. I am alive.
Let me show y'all this real quick. This is my wife repping her apparel and my dog.
Sweet.
That's your dog or her dog?
That's her dog. So Todd, that my wife wears it and my dog wears it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Todd, can you make like really, really small hats so I can get all my pets with hats?
Oh my god.
We
you
can
make-
do patches.
Oh, that's perfect. And I can just
beanies
put them on there
for
with
the
like
everybody.
I need 11 of them.
Hey, look,
We got
there's
Scott
Ryan in the
Gibbons.
background.
Oh,
Look
what
at you,
happened?
bro.
We got Dave Fields, Scott Gibbons, the gang back together again. Yeah. What's up, John? How you doing, bud? Yeah, we got Ryan O'Neill. We had to twist his arm to come to have him get on live tonight. So
I was growing out my beard, so it's not done yet. So that's why I haven't been on.
and we got someone new on the broadcast with us tonight, Todd. I know we mentioned a little bit last time about bringing him onto our team, so I'll let Todd kind of introduce himself, and you guys say hi to him.
Hello, everyone. My name's Todd Quillen. I'm originally from Middle Tennessee. Just moved down here in May, and was looking for a group to fish with, and got lucky and found you guys. I met Ryan on Tenor Rock. I guess it was y'all were doing one of the KFL events, and
Yeah.
I knew Russ out there, and went out just kind of see you guys, and so anyway, I reached out to Ryan and with you guys and come on board. So I appreciate y'all letting me on here. I love everything about kayak fishing. Was very involved back in Nashville in Middle Tennessee, and glad to be part of this group.
Well, Todd, we appreciate you coming on board and taking. You're allowing us to get some of your expertise. He might not tell you this, but he's really knowledgeable in this, and has helped us out a lot. He comes from the KBF Tennessee background, right? So KBFTN. So we're very thankful to have you on board and helping us out, and spreading your knowledge with us, because we want to make sure we put on a good product for everyone. I'm here to learn how to fish, Ryan.
I didn't even do that. Sean did that.
Ryan, you are distracting us. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I didn't change that. Sean did.
Ted or Twan said this is a free event. Yeah, you don't have to pay for this show. This is free content for you. Coming to you live from all across the state. So it's a comedy show. It's the Ryan comedy show.
I still got fishing banners behind me. See, look.
Yeah.
I still fish sometimes.
Yeah.
Missing one.
We'll start charging a fee on YouTube if you watch this. So
yeah, Ryan, you're missing the FKBT banner. Where's that at?
It's in the garage with all my fishing
stuff. Wow, the loyalty.
It's hanging up. Actually, it's hanging on my trailer, protecting my kayak. Every time I walk in the garage, I see it.
I can't say anything. I have mine at home or at work on my wall.
Yeah, where's your guys? Yeah,
Sean's is behind him.
Where's my FKBT hats?
Oh yeah, talking about hats. We'll go ahead and talk about that. If you didn't receive your hat, the hats are in. Todd gave them to me at the December 10th event. Some were handed out at the post-tournament wrap up at Buffalo Wild Wings. If you have not received your hat, or obviously there's quite a few because I have them in my garage, send me a message. Again, send me the message on Facebook. I will work on getting those mailed out to each of your members. Or if you plan on being at the Toho event, which I hope most of you guys are, we can, if you're pre-fishing there and I'm pre-fishing there, I'm going to have the hats with me. We can link up in that capacity just to kind of eliminate some of the mailing costs. Or if you plan on waiting, or if you can wait until the January 14th event on Toho, again, that would be best to save on some of those costs, and I'll just hand out those hats there. But if you can't make that event and you want your hat right away, get with me. send me a message, send me your address, or I can get your
I'll,
address off your
I'll send
registration.
I'll send your address because I have all my hats soon. Sean will have to send them to me.
I'll mail them to you. Probably be the only
From
time.
Sean's house?
Toho is my lake. So Twan, are you going to be fishing that event?
Swan fishes up in Orlando, man. He fishes all those secret Disney lakes.
So just so I make sure I am following the right person, he is a DJ, right?
Yeah.
He was just in Ybor, I believe. I had some of my friends that went and watched him perform at.
I think his DJ name, he could correct me. I think it's T Streets.
So yeah, that's a quick recap on the hats. We do have those. Todd, we talked a little bit after the Claremont event about the potential of getting another hat order made. So we'll post on the Facebook page kind of the different hats you can order, the variety of the hats that are going to be available for order. And then also, don't forget about Sticky Fish, the apparel. If you guys want to represent our club with a fishing shirt, hoodie, jacket, whatever it is, make sure use the link on our Facebook page to go ahead and make those purchases. But also, Todd and I have talked. We're going to create a T-shirt. It's just a plain Jane FKBT front logo and the main logo on the back. For you guys, relatively at a relatively low cost, so you guys can rep some of those merchandise as well. But there's more to come on that when it comes to the apparel side. But what we do have is Sticky Fish, and we'll be placing another order for hats here in the coming weeks for the anglers that have come on board after we place the initial order. But yeah, also, before we move into boundaries, there is another thing that I do want to mention. Kayak cushions. Big news on that. I talked with Brandon today. He is currently working on getting the prototype, the design made. I will be posting it on our Facebook page, but hear me out. I know a lot of you anglers already have kayak cushions. And are repping that because, again, we all know it saves our backs. I mean, they're phenomenal. What he's going to do is he is going to make them. I'm going to purchase 25 of them, 25 to 30, depending on how many anglers drop in the comment section below if they will buy one. He's just going to send us the covers, the kayak covers, to where you don't have to buy a whole new cushion and kayak cushion. It's literally going to be the cover. You take off the current one and you swap on the FKBT one if you want to represent our club. Not sure what the cost is on those yet. I reached out to him. He's going to get back to me on that. But there will be a post made, a voting post where you say, hey, yeah, I'll buy one, kind of like a pre-order thing, just to make sure that I don't purchase 24 of them or 25 of them and then no one buys them. Again, that's coming out of my pocket. I don't want to overshoot that. And but if you guys are interested in it, I know we had a lot of feedback on that early on in the beginning stages of developing this club. Just drop a comment or vote on that Facebook page, on the Facebook post that I do, and we'll make sure that we get those ordered and distributed properly. But yeah, drop it in the comment section if that's something you'd be interested in buying.
We already got two guys that want them.
So with that, what I do know, what I can go ahead and tell you is it's going to be a black background, and the logo is going to be in gray. So it's going to be a black and gray, and the kayak cushion lettering is going to be in gray as well. Just to kind of keep it, we didn't want to do white with stains and all that stuff. We're going to do black with a gray logo, and it'll kind of look like, hold on a second. It'll look like this logo right here. It'll be this color, black and gray. So if this is a hat that you're interested in, we'll see if we can get this one done as well for the next upcoming order. But yeah, that's kind of the news that I had with Kayak Cushion. I wanted to share that with you guys. Sorry that I'm kind of talking too much, but I really wanted to just hound that out with that. And then also Torn Outdoors. I just got my shipment in. I know Todd just got his shipment in. I'm excited. They look phenomenal. The quality that I went and thrown one yesterday. I actually caught a couple of them on them yesterday when I went out fishing and trying out my motor guide. Really good. Like, I was extremely satisfied with the quality of the baits, the plastic that they use. I got the A-rig. I haven't got that set up yet, but I'm excited to throw that.
Can I
Better throw that
tip in?
antenna up.
Can I throw a fishing tip in? They're
Yes.
net heads. I know you got some wide gap net heads. I use those for shaky heads. They're phenomenal.
Yeah. Todd
They're
put me on them. I ordered some of those, so I actually got a couple of them in. And real quick, what Torn is going to do? I reached out to those guys. Phenomenal people. I got my stuff. We got our stuff pretty quick. I ordered it, and within a couple days, it was to my door. I spoke with him. He's going to do his best. He's going to put together some sample packs of their strikers and their timber craws and a couple of their other baits. And we're going to be distributing those out at the post tournament meetup. So if you're there, we're going to do we're going to do giveaways of some of those. And then also another company that we brought on board is a local soft plastic and jig head weight or hook weight, whatever you want to call it, terminal tackle. He basically built his own. It's called Skinny Water Lures. They're out of Palm Coast. That's my hometown. I got introduced to them from a guy I went to high school with. Started working with them. They were primarily saltwater, but they're getting into the freshwater market, and they make some phenomenal soft plastic as well. It's all local. You can get them at the St. Augustine bait and tackle stores, the St. Augustine paddle sports store. They're all in the northeastern part of Florida right now, but we're trying to market them down here in the Florida or the central to South Florida region as well. So again, they're going to be giving us some of their plastics that we're going to give away. And what we want you anglers to do is fish with them, use them, and then share your successes in the fishes you catch by tagging them and letting them know that the baits that they're using are working, because that's ultimately what they want to see. They want to see our anglers catching fish using their baits so that they know what's working and what's not working. And ultimately that's like their way to kind of promote and do some advertisement. So we're going to advertise that with them, but I'm looking forward to it. It's just a way that we can give back to you guys at the end of the event, so where we can feel like you might not have been in the money, but you can leave with something at the end of the day. But yeah, that's all I have as far as sponsorships and some of that product stuff. We are going to be doing, we have done a Yak Attack $20 coupon code giveaway. That it was Scott Gibbons, right?
Yeah, Scott
Gibbons, if you were on here, you were
Yes.
the way
Here.
we determined the winner for that was the angler who was the closest to who the overall inch winner for Claremont. That's how we did it. So Scott Gibbons, you were the closest to that total. So you will be receiving an email from me with a $20 coupon code for Yak Attack. So congrats on that. And John Fennell, I got confirmation. I'll get with you afterwards in regards to your second place winnings. We'll get that taken care of tonight. That's all I got, guys. I'll kind of be quiet. I'm going to pass it over to Sean. He's going to go over some of the boundaries, and then after that, we're going to go over event registration with Fishing Chaos for the Toho event.
All right, I'll try and make this as painless as possible. You guys saw me post earlier about launches that are going to be open. So we got Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures, which is on the south side of Lake Toho. Whaley's Landing, Wild Willie's Airboat has a ramp there. I believe that's a launch fee ramp. Twin Oaks Conservation Area. If you guys decide to use Twin Oaks, it's obviously a primitive kayak launch. It has an auto gate that opens up at dusk and closes at dawn. So I know that changes during the time of the year. I've launched from there. It's a pretty decent launch. You're just going to be it's a lot of hydrilla back there. Spirit of the Swamp Airboat Rides. I had it labeled as Marsh Landing, but it's like Marsh Landing Orlando. I renamed it Spirit of the Swamp so we don't get confused with Marsh Landing on Shingle Creek, which is not open. and not going to be available to launch from. All right, so Spirit of Swamp airboat rides. It's the only one that's going to be outside our boundaries, but it's within it's like 140 meters or yards from the turnpike. So I'm going to allow you guys to use it, but you got to head like generally southwest, get underneath the turnpike, and that's going to be the boundary leading up to East Toho. So you're going to have to be on the southwest side of the turnpike to be in eligible water. If you need me to clarify that, I'll show it on the map here in a few minutes. Richardson's Fish Camp, I believe it's a $3 fee at that boat ramp. I think G posted on there is a big hole in the ramp, so don't flip your trailer in there. I've used it. We used it last year. We didn't have any issues.
I did. I had an issue.
I didn't have any issues, but
yeah, it will. If you get down there and if you're one of those that launch your kayak pretty deep into the on the ramp, it will turn your kayak over. It happened to me. I didn't have anything on it, thankfully, but yeah, just be careful of it. And it's pretty steep drop off to the left by the once you're going down it too. So just be careful.
Are you talking about by the docks over to the left?
Yeah, by the docks, it's pretty steep, and there's not very good adequate lighting over there. So just be careful. It's steep, and it gets pretty slippery down there. So just mind be careful out there. It is dark.
Yeah, me and Chris went down there at like 4:00 in the morning and launched. But just be cognizant. It's a little bit dark out there. We got Big Toho Marina. That's on the north end. Got Granada Public Boat Ramp on the west side. And Brownie Wise Park is a primitive kayak launch. It doesn't specify on their websites whether it's a dusk or dawn opening. It just says 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Brownie Wise, I think it's 8, man. It's late.
No, it's on Google. On Google, you guys check it out. I'll check it out when I'm up there. But right now, Google Maps says 07 to 8 p.m. is an opening times of the park. I've never used Brownie Wise. I don't know if it's the same as Twin Oaks. But if one of you guys up there know the answer to that, go ahead and drop it in the comments for everybody else. But those are the eligible launches. I'll go through it again. Boggy Creek, Whaley's, Wild Willie's, Twin Oak Conservation Area, Spirit of the Swamp airboat rides, Richardson's Fish Camp, Big Toho Marina, Granada, and Brownie Wise Park are the eligible launches for this event. And let me share my screen. If for whatever reason I'm completely missing a ramp, I don't know if Jim Bob's Trailer Park has a ramp that charges a fee out on Toho. I don't know. But those are the eligible launches I've seen used between KBF and other trails in the state. And those are the ones we're going to use for this event unless you guys have a legitimate ramp that you bring up, and I'll go ahead and open it up. But give me 1 second, and I will talk those specific boundaries.
Again, I'm just going to harp on this, Sean. Public boat ramp. That's all. There's a lot of them on Toho.
All right. So, all right, I'm up and live. All right, so I didn't specify this in the beginning, but we got the lockdown here to the south. You obviously cannot go below S61 lock. All right. You have to stay in the body of Lake Toho. Now, boundary to the east side of the lake. So this is the Florida Turnpike. This is Marsh Landing Adventures Orlando or Spirit of the Swamp airboat rides. You have to stay on the southwest side of the turnpike. You can launch up there in that ramp, but move below the turnpike because that's your boundary. Is that clear enough?
Clear as water.
Now, what's up?
I said it's clear as the water.
Clear as Lake Toho.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Neptune Road right here. That's going to be a boundary. Most of the time, that's completely choked out. So you can't get through there anyways, but that's going to be a boundary. Neptune Road. And I skipped over it. Where is it at? Right here. I don't believe you can get under Altman Road, these culverts right here. But Altman Road over on the northeast side is going to be a boundary. You cannot fish on the east side of Altman Road. And I think that about covers everything except Shingle Creek. And over here on the west side. All right, so down here is Granada public boat launch. Up here is Big Toho Marina. Right in the middle, we got Shingle Creek. Shingle Creek runs up the Highway 17, also known as St. John Young Parkway. You can keep on going up until
I think it goes forever.
Hoagland Boulevard is going to be your boundary. You cannot move west of Hoagland Boulevard on Shingle Creek. All right? And that's going to be the western boundary for Shingle Creek. Marsh Landing, Shingle Creek is not open for launching, and I believe Thomas Woodring said it's closed for repairs anyway, so that's not going to be an eligible launch location.
I think that's where I went that one time. And it was under construction.
Yeah, I believe Ryan launched out there. And I'll go ahead and cover it real quick. I know Granada public boat ramps right here over on the west side. And Boggy Creek Adventures down here to the south side. And that is, I'm pretty sure that's pretty clear across the board. If you have any questions before we move on, just go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you have any questions about boundaries, public launches available for this event. And I think that's about it. You guys got anything to add? Todd, Chris, Ryan?
Yes.
Chris asked over here.
Yeah, sorry. When launching at these airboat areas, do you need a 10-foot flag? Your standard 360 light with a flag is fine there. Yeah.
I know, like the airboat place, like down here, Sean, you know, I drew a blank. Loxahatchee. You need it's bigger than a 10-foot. I think it's 12-foot. If you go on the airboat side, I'm like.
Yeah, so Toho, you're fine with the standard 360 light and flag, and those guys are pretty good about going around you and not causing a huge issue. So I've besides like Kissimmee was the worst place I've ever been with the airboaters that don't really care that you're in the water with them. Lake Toho, they're extremely courteous, and as long as you're visible, they're going to go around you and do the best they can not to interfere with you. So, and I fished out there a ton over the summer, and the airboaters never caused any issues. So
just bring some good ear protection and some headache medicine.
Fish behind them.
One thing I was going to mention about Toho, there are plenty of places. I know there's probably going to be some comments and stuff. If you're planning on camping overnight or doing that sort of thing, drop that on the Facebook members only page, and let's see if we can get some anglers to kind of like we camp out and do that type of thing. I know I plan on camping out. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to camp out at yet.
KOA.
Do some research, huh?
Stay at the KOA, bro. Where we stayed at.
So Ryan and I did stay at the KOA. It's kind of off the lake. There is one on the south side, right? There is a camping area on the south side. Richardson's is one, but they don't have. Richardson's doesn't really have like some amenities that people might want or need.
The KOA is nice because you can't tent camp though at that one. The one me and Sean stayed at, that's a little farther away. You can tent camp, but
yeah. So just be mindful of that. We do plan on camping there for that event. So if that's something that you guys and gals would be interested in, let's try to find a place where we can camp out and do it and do that thing.
No, actually, Bailey, we did camp there, didn't me and you?
Yeah. There's not very many tent camping sites, but there are areas.
No, we did. I remember.
We can go there and tent camp. So. Just drop that in the comment section. I know some folks have tent or like car tents. What do you want to call them? Pop-up tents.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, Chris said he okay. Yep. So that's all. I mean, we'll try to organize something, and I am going to do a post-tournament or kind of get together as well. I'm going to try to find a location. I know there's a barbecue joint right at the big Toho, across from the big Toho Marina. But I'm going to see what else is around there in that little, what is that town called? The city there? Huh?
That's Kissimmee.
The main little town there where we were
No,
at?
Simi.
it is
It is?
Kissimmee. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna make some phone calls, and I'm gonna see if they can if I can get a spot kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings did, so we can do our post tournament event meet up there. If not, if we can't have it at a restaurant around there, it will be.
There's a great
at,
Mexican restaurant in Kissimmee.
yeah. Oh
They
yeah,
like to
there
do
is.
parties. They do parties.
They do a good party. That was a fun time. We had a mariachi band serenading us the whole 2 hours we were eating dinner there for a KFL event.
That was for my cousin's birthday, remember?
Yeah.
The food was awesome there.
It was phenomenal. But if we don't have it at a restaurant, it will be at the big Toho Marina at the there's like a public park area right there. That is where, if we don't have it at a restaurant, it will be at that area. And that'll be where you can check in with us to make sure that you guys are there. But yeah, more to follow on that. Any questions?
I might just come up there and not fish. I might just come up there and have Mexican with you guys.
Any questions about the boundaries that you guys might have that we can answer now? If not, forever hold your peace. Hey, Chris Parker. So yeah, we'll kind of talk some more, give you guys to think about some questions about the boundaries. But I'll go ahead and talk about Fishing Chaos. Registration is open. It's been open for 30 minutes on the Fishing Chaos side. So if you are planning on fishing the Toho event, registration is open and it will close on the 13th at 8 p.m. So make sure you go ahead and register so we can make sure and see how many people we're going to have for that event. First two events have been good, 48 and 30 is really, really good. But Lake Toho is a good fishery, and we're hoping that we can get a lot more participation out of this event. Have a chance to win some good money out of there. But yeah, Fishing Chaos is open. I know we had some people reach out about creating like a sample tournament. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a how-to video on how to delete entries and things of that nature. And I'll post it on our Facebook page for you guys to go through and look and save for later, just so that you guys have something to kind of look back on. And it's there for forever. But yeah, that's all I have as far as Fishing Chaos forever ever. Did I miss anything, guys, when it comes to that?
Nothing, you got it.
Okay. And then one thing else we do want to address: safety. It's a safety something I'm going to address about safety in these tournaments. Last event, I don't know who the angler was. I wasn't given a name or really a description, but PFDs need to be worn at all times. I'm saying this because it's a safety. It's 100% mandatory. If you are out on the water and you are not wearing your PFD, and one of the anglers comes up and approaches you and says, "Hey, make sure you're wearing your life vest," that's sportsmanship. They're looking out for you and for your safety. So one, be respectful of that, and the person who is letting that individual know that the life vest needs to be worn. Make sure you are also being respectful and doing it in a manner that is appropriate. But if at any time they see you again and you're not wearing your PFD, you're going to be disqualified, and there's a potential for you to be not allowed to. There would be a suspension for you to be able to participate in any further events. That's going to be on
John Fox said it wasn't him.
I know it wasn't John Fox. I'm just saying. I'm not calling names out. I'm not going to say anything. It's going to be, if it gets addressed moving forward, there's going to be disqualifications and there's going to be suspensions. It's going to be case by case. I'm not going to say it's going to be one or two events. It's if they ask you to put it on and you don't put it on, or you do put it on and then you take it back off, there's going to be different grounds, and it's going to be based off of whatever situation transpires. But it's our responsibilities as anglers, and I'm saying myself too. If I come across an angler on the water I'm not going to go straight to DQ in that member. I'm going to say, hey, make sure you're wearing your life vest, right? It is in our rules that disqualification is if you're not wearing your life vest. It's plain and simple. You read the rules, you signed the waivers, you've seen it 100 times. But if you have to come back and say, hey, I already told you once, you put it on and then you take it back off, that is just a complete disregard to your own safety and to our club. So make sure you're wearing that. I don't think I need to hit on it that much more. But if we see it as anglers, it's our responsibility to say something and to correct it. And if you're the individual, own up to it and say, hey, that's my bad. Sportsmanship, right? That'll be taken care of. If you say, hey, I messed up, that's my bad. We'll address that as saying, hey, okay, does that warrant a DQ or did you forget? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be, we're humans, right? We understand. But again, safety is 100% paramount in these events. That river that we were in, Todd brought it up. It was moving real fast. You fall, hit your head, whatever the case is, you hit something crazy could happen. You have an illness, whatever, you fall out your kayak, you can't swim, and no one's around to help you, then we're in some trouble. So we want to make sure that you guys are taken care of.
I think that's one of the biggest arguments too. Like people are like, oh, I can swim. It's like, it's not that you can't swim or not. Like the problem is when you bump your head and fall in the water when you're unconscious,
Yeah, medical conditions happen anywhere. They happen on a golf course, football fields, kayak fishing. Anything can happen. You can, God forbid, you have some seizure or a heart attack or something crazy that's unexpected. All those things happen, and we don't have guardrails or we don't have seatbelts on our kayak to where if you fall out, someone's 100 yards away from you, that's still too far. And that's not to say a life vest is going to save you even when that happens, but it is at least a measure for us to be able to aid in recovering you if something was to happen, and not having to send out a dive team to search for you underwater. So yeah, that's first and foremost. We're not gonna talk about ban because I don't think. I know we're joking around about it, but the banning part. But no, we're not gonna take that route unless it is completely necessary. But hopefully it don't ever get to that point. Honestly, it should just be first nature that we put on a life vest when we get on our kayaks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to hit, guys. On when it comes to that. Other than that, everyone, y'all been doing phenomenal. Shout out to real-time management or for judging our fish. Fantastic job. They had all the fish judged before the event was as the event was ending. They held everybody accountable. I had quite a few anglers reach out to me and say, hey, why did my fish get DQ'd? Mouths were open, or the identifier was not in the picture, right? So it's not just us judging the fish. We weren't judging them at all. It was Amanda from real-time management. Or real tournament management. I'm sorry. So yeah.
Hey, so I just researched it. I see no requirement for the flag. Obviously, the light technically is supposed to be like
360.
Is he
verify on that specific body of water? But I know the Everglades, like Loxahatchee. I know, I think Chris was talking about Chris Arazi was a 10-foot requirement, which I know is correct. But normal light pole with flag for the Toho event. Obviously, we'll talk since we're talking about other things. Obviously, if your kayak's motorized, make sure you have your registration, you have your whistle, you have the appropriate navigation lights. If your kayak's motorized, if you have a non-motorized kayak, so reading the rules, like technically it's like you can have a flashlight on you. But if you're anchored, that you need to have a 360 light. So either way, have a 360 light in your flag on your kayak. Minimum motorized, obviously you need a registration, navigation lights, whistle, no requirement for a fire extinguisher. Some of you guys with a lot of electronics on your kayak, you may want to have one. I don't know, your choice. But
you want to know what I was just thinking too? We utilize these lithium batteries they sit underneath mine was sitting underneath
Well,
my kayak seat. If something happens,
well, the chemistry, the old lithium, the original lithium's dangerous. The new chemistry with the lithiums is fairly safe. Is it probably a good practice to probably throw a little fire extinguisher in your kayak if you're loaded down with electronics, like a few of us? I know quite a few of us. I've seen some guys with like multi graphs on their kayaks running live scope and all that stuff. You may burn up a terminal or whatnot. I know Ryan's burned up a few breakers and some wiring. I've done it myself personally a few years ago. And to go back to that, like I flipped my kayak on Seminole last year, and 2 lithium batteries got soaking wet, and they didn't catch on fire. So
yeah.
So the chemistry is fairly safe these days, whereas the Samsung phones with the early day of like spontaneously combusting. I think really that's like kayak regulations and safety. I think we've covered it pretty good. I just researched it just to double check and brush up on my knowledge base, but no requirement for like a 10-foot pole. Obviously, be aware of the airboat lanes. Everybody, if you don't know where they're at, generally running Boggy Creek Boat Adventures running all the way up the west side of the lake. So you leave Boggy Creek Boat Adventures, they run all the way along that wall, along the south, and then head up north along the west wall. And sometimes they're over on the east side also, over towards Twin Oaks. Haven't seen a lot of them over there, but I've seen a few. So
they will be if they allow hunting on it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's really the high traffic area. I've fished in and around the airboats, never had any issues. Just obviously make yourself visible and legal out on the water, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And I think, what was it, Dave? Dave, yes. I have your Christmas trees. I did not forget. I was not able to make it. I'm not going to mail you your Christmas trees, your Little Debbie, for your 9 1/4-inch bass. But if you plan on being at the Toho event, I will have your Little Debbie awards, and I will have the Little Debbie cakes for the winner of that event. Again, it's just a little fun little joke. If you catch a fish, again, don't submit it to Fishing Chaos, but if you catch a fish under the 12-inch minimum, submit it, post a picture of it on our Facebook page, and the person who submits it, the smallest bass for the event, will get the Little Debbie award. It will be Christmas cakes for this event, and then for the last event, and then we'll move on to my
Christmas cake is going to be stale by January.
No. We'll be good. I got them in the freezer.
I got no expiration date.
Dave Fields, what launch are you? What launch
is there a deadline to submit a launch for approval?
The deadline is when this live's over with.
Yeah.
Just drop the name and I'll look at it real quick. And I think I got every one. I'm just asking you guys. Like I talked to Chris before we hopped on here tonight. I was like, I know there's probably another one that I'm unaware of, because
he doesn't have one in mind.
I'm a transplant to Florida. I've only been here for about 4 years.
So yeah, he said he doesn't have one in mind.
Okay. How can you tell when they're stale? That bread gets dry.
You don't. Hey, let's ask the bread.
Little Debbie don't get stale, bro. They don't get stale.
Real quick, guys. So myself, Todd, Sean, and Ryan, we just got done talking. Are we done with like the boundaries and stuff for right now? I'll talk about what happened.
Let me see before we get. So
are we going to talk about what's behind me?
Bring one out.
Sponsorship, tournament safety, fish disqualifications. Yeah, we covered everything.
Okay, so real quick, Todd, if you don't mind, you can kind of help me out with this one and kind of share some of your experiences with it. What we're gonna do at this segment. Oh my Lord, Ryan.
Here's my boy.
So for those of you that don't know, Ryan is no longer a fisherman. He is a snake wrangler. So
I'm a fisherman too. Do they need PFDs when I bring them?
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be your bait, right? That's your bait of choice, live bait.
No.
So, all right,
they're
real
too friendly.
quick. we don't want to take up too much more of your guys' time. This will kind of give you guys some time to think of any other questions you may have. But something that we are going to do, and I know we didn't talk much about it earlier on in the beginning stages of the club but we've listened to you guys, listened to the anglers, listened to a lot of people who has knowledge in running a club and experience in running a club, and we've talked, and we're in the process of creating another event that is not going to be associated with our we're trying to figure it out. We're going to test the waters and see how you guys would like it to be ran. But what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to put on a Florida Kayak Bass Trail Open tournament. What that looks like is it's not going to be an open that is already on one of our scheduled events. We're going to add an event. What month did we say? March, because that's a month where there's not much going on as far as like holidays and things of that nature. It's one of those, we're just after the new year, we're settling down, getting into 2023. We're going to have our regular Florida Kayak Bass Trail membership event that month, but we were trying to think of a way to incorporate Van Hunks. Van Hunks is wanting to do a demo day. There's some other sponsors that we're going to try to get on board that are going to be some of the title sponsors for this open. We're not going to kind of name some of those off right now because we want to get, the 100% go ahead with them, but also get some input and feedback from our members. A lot of folks have come and said, "Hey, I want to fish one of your events, but I'm not a member. Can we do that?" And unfortunately right now that's no, you got to be a member, but we want everyone to participate in our events or want to become a member and join our club. So a way we're going to do that is we're going to have an open. What that open looks like location wise, again, I don't want to say for certain that it's
Claremont chain.
But no, it's not going to be the Claremont chain. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to have the location be at Tanarock. And the reason we are going to try to have it at Tanarock is, one, we do have an event in, June in Tanarock?
Yeah.
Yeah, so June is an event, is our member event, but Tanarock offers a plethora of lakes, a variety of lakes for you guys to choose to fish from. What it does, and the reason we're looking at choosing this area is because you have to check in one point and you have to check out at that same area. You have to turn in your card, and picnic. And there's another couple areas in Tanarock that have these big gazebos and areas to where it can house us comfortably. We're not all going to have to fish the same body of water. We're not going to have to do anything like that. It's going to be the normal entry fee of $50, and instead it's going to be a $10 big bass, but instead of it $5 going towards the end of the year, it's going to be 100% payout for big bass. And for the entry fees for that event is going to be $50 entry fee, $10 big bass, 100% payout. And we really want you guys to bring your friends and your family and your people who are on the fence of joining a club, bring them on and fish this event. You're going to have a chance to catch some quality fish. Tanarock around that time of the year is producing some solid bass. But ultimately it provides us an opportunity and a venue for Van Hunks to come out and set up their kayaks, for us to grill out some food, get to hang out with one another, bring in some of our sponsors, do some product giveaway, and ultimately just to get to meet and hang out with one another. That's what we're thinking. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on what that looks like, drop them in the comment section. Send us a private message on Facebook. That's where we're at on it. We just want to host an open so anglers can come in and kind of see how we do things and what we can offer them in the grand scheme of things. Todd, did I miss something that you'd like to add in regards to that?
No, I think you got it covered real well.
They did ask, will it count towards AOI?
So when it comes there's two things that we got to address that we're gonna have to look at. So in Fishing Chaos, if you register for an event and I link that event to the AOY board, members who are not in our club that are registered to that event with that being linked, it would throw their if they say they won or whatever, that would give them the points. We can't do it that way. So what we're going to do, and something that Todd has done in the past.
Yeah. Tenorock's May, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. It's May.
We said June. Sorry.
What we would do is or we would create an Excel sheet that would do it the same way that Fishing Chaos does it, but we would have to rerun the board with Jesse with our Fishing Chaos to give them only the standings of our anglers that are members. I got to talk with Jesse with Fishing Chaos if that's something that they can do first before we say yes, AOY points would be distributed. We want them to be distributed. Have that be an event to where if you are a member, it could count as your bet towards AOY standings. But there's more to come on that. Again, this is a very rough draft. We just wanted to pitch the idea to you guys, get some of your input, get some of your ideas, and make this something that you guys want and that other anglers would want to be a part of. Right? So big payouts means we got to have participation. So we can pitch that to our sponsorship so that they can donate product for us to give away. But ultimately, we'll do the cash checks. We're going to do the cash prizes based off of the admission fees and big bass. That's a give me. But we'd also want to get some product away as well. But that all comes in with your guys' buy-in. And how we sell that to our sponsors to give us the product to give away. So to answer hopefully that answered your question, but there's going to be more to come on that. Did Robert ask that question? Or who?
No.
Kyle Keene asked about AOI points.
Yeah. So we are only certain lakes, not a fan of tenor. Only on certain lakes, not a fan. What does Timothy mean by that? Oh, big bass. I'm pretty sure.
No, Tenorock in March.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You can't catch fish in Tenorock in March. You probably ain't even fishing.
I don't know. Tenorock has its tough days. Experienced it not too long ago.
Lake B.
No, not Lake B.
Lake B's trash.
I'll beat you on Lake B. You go to any other lake.
So how about this? On that open, how about if you're in the top 10 in AOI points whenever we do the open, we can do a top 10 where we all fish on the same lake on Lake B. How about that? Top 10 in AOI points for the open. We all fish on the same body of water and do like a head-to-head. That sound pretty cool?
Wait a minute.
Top 10 in AOI points as of once the day of
up until that event.
Yes, up until that event. Whenever we do that event in March, and on that day, whoever's in the top 10 in AOI points, we all fish Lake B, and we go head to head.
No, that's BS, bro. I want to be on Lake B. Get out of my water.
No points. No AOI points.
Huh?
No AOI points.
Tenorock is the equivalent to fishing different bodies of water for a same tournament. I'm not a fan of it. It's just
yes.
I just don't go to anything.
So with this event, we're trying to bring the community together and have
Lake B sucks.
Try and bring knowledge to the club and get the community together at an event that provides us a good location to bring Van Hunks out there or our sponsors to have that demo possibly. So looking at the location, that's really the reasoning. Like not everybody's going to like the body of water. And it's a good way to consolidate everybody in the middle, and not everybody's traveling. If we go to Lake Okeechobee, they want to fish the north end out of Okeechobee, and then they got to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours down to Clewiston because we decided to do our event down there at John Stretch Park off of 27. So that's the big attractor for us for using that location, such as Tenor Rock. So it's to bring the community together and have that event. So.
Yeah, David, actually, Tanner Rock or Lake B is probably one of the biggest lakes on Tanner Rock, so they actually allow quite a bit of anglers on that lake. There's 2 launch points. I think I can get a total number, but I know it's over 15 that they allow on Lake B at one.
Yeah, I thought it was 15. No.
Yeah, I believe it's 15
Might
at
be
a time.
20.
There's quite a few. I've been out there and I've seen more around that many people on the lake. Pretty evenly, but I mean, again, like this is us talking to you guys. So if Tanner, like Sean was saying, Tanner Rock is just that place that offers an area, a gazebo that's secluded. You're not having to try, like if you're fishing Tanner Rock and you have to check in by a certain time, the place where we would hold it's less than a half a mile from the entrance to Tanner Rock. So it's more about the accessibility for our sponsors to get there set up while we're fishing. Someone there cooking the food. So when we all get off the water, we turn our cards back in, get our fishing license. We have a half a mile stretch to picnic area, and we're able to really this event is, yes, it's about fishing in the tournament, but it's more so about the club, the anglers, and getting to meet one another and talk and establish those relationships with our sponsors and with the folks in the club. And what better way to do that than over food and fellowship. If you have an idea of a lake that offers that same opportunity, share that with us. We'll make a decision. Tanner Rock isn't set in stone. That's just that's the place that we, during conversation, was brought up. As far as, you can't 30. All the lakes are within a 15 to 20 minute drive of one another. And you have to check in at one place and you got to check out at one place. That and no other lakes do we have to do that. So that's one of those main. That was the main.
Robert Phillips said, "I need points, so I better fish both of them."
Oh. Yep. So yeah, we already planned on making a poll about the open. So yeah, we will do that. Timothy, since drop in here, which lake you think would offer that same opportunity? And if you guys know of any lakes, drop them in here and we'll add those to the poll. So
I mean,
Lake
off the top of my head, the only other place would be like Lake Ida, like something like that. There would be like one launch. Even if we did Toho, I mean, from the north end to the south end is
30 minutes.
You're driving. Yeah.
It's so when it took me from the north end to get to the south end by the lock was 35 minutes. From where we were at.
That all depends on that Kissimmee traffic.
Well, this was at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's different midday.
Yeah. Lake Parker one launch. That's in Tanner Rock, right? That's in Lakeland.
That's in Lakeland.
Yeah. So you guys just drop in the comment section. We'll give you guys some time. Drop in the comment section of the lake.
Tells me.
Well, that's out in the middle of nowhere.
There's a lot of snakes there.
But that's something we wanted to bring up. I know we're not going to be able to make everyone happy, but our goal is to have this open where the majority of the people will come and fish, right? What's the point of us putting on an open if no one wants to fish it?
Well, also we don't want to make Van Hunks drive far because they're coming from the West Coast.
They're coming from Sarasota.
We don't want them.
Lake
Tarpon. Kayaks. Well.
Ooh.
Why don't we just go to Van Hunk's building?
Saltwater. Snook tournament.
Handfish.
Mudfish.
Crooked
So,
Lake
Todd,
Mirror Lake Wells fan.
Is there anything you'd like to say in regards to the Open? I know you guys have done it in the KBFTN. If you'd like to share kind of how it was ran in that and how it went, I think that would help out a little bit too.
We did a lot, which we called them boat ramp beatdowns, on some of the Opens that we had like that. And of course, we didn't have a membership fee like the club does here. That was a kind of all included into our registration for the tournament. So our Opens were a little bit different. So if we had some people that really didn't want to put up the larger amount of money or want to really fish, in a full-blown tournament, we had what we call boat ramp beatdowns, and we'd set up a couple of ramps and they would meet at the ramp and launch from there and go. We also did some that were lure specifics, like a lipless only tournament, in some, some of our Opens, if you will. So it was a little bit different, but they brought on a lot of new people to the group that maybe was a little bit intimidated fishing the full-blown tournament. And this gave them an opportunity to get out and get their feet wet. And next thing you know, they were great members for the club.
Yeah, I agree. And those are all things that we can look at into moving into the future. Ward Lake next is close to Van Hunks. I mean, again, we're going to go back through all these comments. We're going to create a poll on Facebook for that event. One poll will be for the date. It's going to be in March, but it'll be for the date that most people would be able to attend. And for the lake, we'll list all the lakes on there. And then we will give you an option to add a lake if you didn't drop it in the comment section below by the time this video ended. And if you're watching this after the video has ended, again, I will give it until say Friday at noon, or Friday at noon. I'll go back on this video and I'll look at all the lakes, and then I'll create the post on Friday for the poll to open up the poll for that, for the date, time, and everything, and the location. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this Open is to get people who aren't in our club out to participate in our club and give them an opportunity to see what we're about, what our club's about, and get them involved. So that's the key. The advertisement piece of this is we're gonna have to push it out through social media, Facebook pages, all that. Your friends that are part of other groups and other fishing communities. There's some things that might be happening in the future that we're going to sit and discuss as a group on potentially linking up with some other local clubs and trails to put on a quality, competitive event. So there's more to come with that. Not sure if it's going to happen this year, but hopefully, in next season, next trail, we'll be able to implement some of those changes and make it for the better, right? To just promote kayak fishing in general, not our club. Yeah, we're a club. We need to. It's important that we do things at the club level, and that's really getting to know one another, and creating those relationships and around fishing. So that's my little spiel. But again, if it's just our members that are signing up for the Open, it's not an Open. It's just going to be another club event, and we don't want that. We want anglers who aren't members of our club to participate in this. So it's going to be word of mouth, and let's pack out whichever lake we go to. Let's show up, and catch some big fish. So that's all I got, guys, on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered it all.
So Timothy said something. What did he say? He said, don't have it on the same date as the Bass Nation. Yeah, we're not going to interfere with other trails. But That's not on our forefront. Now that Bass Nation has their events out, their dates out. Slay Nation has their event dates out. That's all a part of. That's why we're going to look at those, and that's why we haven't put out that poll yet. We want to get input from our members, but then again, also know that there are only 4 weekends in the month, and there's more than 4 clubs in the Central Florida area that are hosting events around that time frame. So it's most likely going to fall on a day that a club somewhere in Florida is having an event. That's just the nature of it. With us putting on an open, and managing or scheduling it and creating it this late in the game. But we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't something that we haven't had anglers come up to us and ask us to do. So that's why we're doing it. And if we don't get buy-in for it, and no one signs up, or no one's wanting to do it, then it'll be canceled, and we'll refund you your money if you paid for it. At the end of the day, like that's no harm, no foul. But we're doing it because we've been asked to do it, and there's been interest shown that anglers, non-members, want to participate, but want to get see what it's like first, before they commit to a trail. Own should promote, not for money. What? I don't. Robert, what do you mean by that comment? I don't know if it was a typo. Not for money. I don't understand that. So just clarify that, and we'll answer that question. And then John Fox said Ward Lake has some big ones in it also. Look for a lake that can handle 50 plus kayaks at one ramp. Can get most towns involved with. Yeah. We'll look at those. A side pot for members open to public. Yeah, what you guys do for like that type of stuff, like a Calcutta and your own little side pots that you guys, we're not going to be affiliated with it as far as like from a club standpoint, from the admin side. But we'll have our registration fees and the big bass for you to be able to, a big bass is optional, but the registration fee for it will be a part of it. But whatever else y'all want to do on the side, bets that you guys place, that's going to be on you, but we won't have any part of that as far as like tracking purposes. That'll be a cash day of event type thing for y'all. Yes, we will be doing giveaways to members and public. That's part of the sponsor. That's what we're going to reach out to the sponsors for. But if a non-member wins the event, they're going to be subject to that they want to know what the experience is like. So if one wins, they're going to get the cash check, and they're going to get the money. And we're going to get. And if a member wins it, they're going to get the cash check. They're going to get the money. They're going to get the same thing you would get at any. It's going to be ran just like any event that we have throughout our trail. The only difference is there's going to be non-members that are going to be fishing it, and we still got to figure out the AOI points, how that's going to work, and what that looks like. And
that's a good idea. Chris Arazi said the winner to the public person gets a free membership for the following year.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that we can do. I mean,
they'll take my membership. I'll give them mine.
We all paid for our membership, right? No, yeah, yeah. I mean, we're paying members. We pay for everything. We're not subject to any of that. So, we're fishing alongside you guys as well. So, and we want to see this club grow. I think we're at 70 members. Last time I checked, that's awesome for a first year club. 70 members signed up. That's phenomenal in my opinion. I wasn't expecting that. So that's awesome. And then also the turnouts that we had, I know our first event, we had 48 anglers sign up. I know our second event, Bass Nation, held their open on our event day. And we still were able to get 30 anglers to show up to fish our event on Claremont, which was phenomenal. We all had a great time. It was tough, but that's the whole part of fishing these lakes. It's not going to be easy every lake we go to. It's going to be some lakes are going to be challenging. So I mean, we had our calendar pretty much settled down months and months ago. What did Robert Phillips say? I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know if he just.
Oh, out for the.
It's his bedtime. It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, oh yeah, we did. We are at that hour mark. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it's
Robert Phillips
9:05.
said, I'm out. Deuces.
Oh, and hey, here's Mitchell. Here's Mitchell showing up. Hey, can you guys start over?
Yeah, he don't watch. You
Who's
got
Chris
you got
Mitchell?
to remember this would be for our sponsors. Yeah, most definitely. No, that's they're the ones that's going to be driving this. We're going to get with a couple of our sponsors to be the title sponsors for this open. For the ones that we're going to reach out to all of them, and if they all want to come on board, fantastic. But ultimately, the ones that want to come on board and promote this event, those are going to be the ones that are going to be on the checks. They're going to be the ones there giving away some product. I'm going to go work with. Where's that? Sorry, I'm working with.
Is that the Pirates?
I'm going to go work with Power Pole and see if there's something that we can get done with them for our trail this year and for that event. So there's more to come on that. We're working that piece in the background now. So
I thought that was a Pittsburgh Steelers hat.
No, it's the new Power Pole hat.
I thought it was the Penguins.
Hey, the Steelers are making their playoff run right now. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Still in the conversation.
There's only one real team out of Pennsylvania. Come on, you know that.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, America's team.
Yeah.
It's not the Cowboys anymore. The Steelers is America's team.
No, it's
Is Philadelphia in Pennsylvania?
No, it's in Jersey.
Oh, 13-1? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
we'll be sitting at home watching the playoffs.
There's going to be a lot more to come about the Open again. So if you guys have your, like I said earlier, if you guys have any suggestions on what it should look like, Sean, Todd, myself, Ryan, or Chris Clutter, send us a message. It's easier just to send it to the Florida Kayak Bass Trail message and not to one of us individually. If you send it there, all of us can see it. All of us are in the know. And that's something that we're going to do because, again, we want our sponsors to be recognized in this Open. We want the public, the anglers who aren't a part of our club to be recognized, and ultimately for us to show them what it's like to be a member of our club.
I was going to say the Texans.
Does he even know football? Does Chris Mitchell even know football?
The Texans.
So, other than that,
funny.
that's all we needed to really address when it came to the Open, the boundaries, sponsorships, our new sponsorships that come on board. What else did I miss, Sean?
No, I was just going to say last note, like for real, if you guys got any questions on the boundaries or the launch locations, hit me up directly. I'm working that myself. So just give me a call. You guys have my phone number or just text me or whatever. And we'll clarify anything that you guys need clarified or add anything you guys needed added. So.
And Sean, real quick, can you pull up Fishing Chaos? I'm going to show Amy Brown. Amy Brown asked a question: are we going to post AOY standings after each event? You can actually go in and see AOY standings on Fishing Chaos, and I'll show you how you can do that. And good rule, we'll just do it before we close out each live. We'll go on and we'll post after each event what the current AOY standings are. So. Sean, if you want to share your screen, we can go ahead and show the current standings and how you get there.
Where's Christopher Clutter tonight? Can be on with us?
He's working. He's on the beat.
Wait till he watches this and he sees my mug. He doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Got to call him back.
Hold on. I want to send him a picture.
Better timestamp that so he knows it's real.
I did. All right. So to answer your question, so real quick, let's go back to the main. So this is our main tournament homepage right here, right? You see dashboard, tournaments, and then you see series standings. If you click on series standings, click on the Florida Kayak Bass Trail, you're going to pull up and you're going to see who is
Nathaniel Hawley's in first place.
So, and if you click the little drop-down menu, a little drop-down arrow on the far right.
Oh, Jesus. It's
It's
acting
gonna
wild
show-
right now.
Hold on.
Oh,
Yes, if you hover over that or you click it, it's going to drop down 2 events. It's going to show,
show you your
points
top
that
2.
you earned. And our next event, if you've participated in all 3 events, you'll see down there the next event will be the Florida Kayak Bass Trail Toho event. It'll calculate your best 3 tournaments.
Where am I? Where am I on that list?
You're at 0. So hopefully, Amy, that answers
there I
your
am.
question.
Nope.
Comments. Cool.
On that list,
Yep.
bro. I'll be there one day with you guys.
Yep. So again, kind of like how Fishing Chaos or how Fishing Chaos happens. If you win first place, you're going to get the 300 points. And then as you finish second, third, and fourth, it'll be decreased by decrements of 3. And then for participation, we do give you 100 points, but participation doesn't mean that you registered. Participation means that you submitted at least 1 fish, and that'll give you that eligibility for the 100-point minimum. But most of the time,
Do I get any points? Do I get points for judging the first event?
No.
None at all, Ryan. But you want to go down through this list real quick?
Yeah. So first place, we got Nathaniel Hawley with 564 points. Second place is Fred Anderson with 561. Lloyd Hardy is in third place with 555 points. Chris Mitchell, fourth place with 549. We got Robert Phillips with 543. Thomas Woodring with 537. Chris Bailey with 534. John Fennell, 531. Amy Brown in our 522, and Daryl Harrelson with 513. And then we got Sean Crady, 11th, Craig Crumbliss, 12th, Clay, is that Reach or Rex?
Clay Reach.
Clayton
Clay
Reach. And then 14th, Kyle Keene, Robert Morales. 6. So yeah, and they do it by your largest fish. That's the tiebreaker, is by lunker. Just FYI. That's how that is broken down.
I'll go down through
Then
this
I'll
real
just go
quick.
to top 20. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Good.
16,
the
Todd
man.
Quillen. Huh?
Number
Nothing.
16, that's the man right there.
16 is Todd Quillen. 17, Julia Thomas. 18, David Fields. 19 is Scott Corliss. And 20, Conrad Benetti.
Spaghetti.
And then kind of so on and so forth. That's where you can go and look it up. So you don't have to rely on us. It is there for your viewing pleasure 24/7 on the Fishing Chaos app. Todd and I, we're in the talks of creating that web page. I talked to Todd about it before. I'm going to try to start making traction on it to where it'll be an all one stop. We're going to have AOY stings on it. It'll have a place where you can submit, purchases for apparel and hats and all that fun stuff. All your wants and needs for our club will eventually be on that web page. We're just got to figure out the logistics behind it and getting it built, and what that looks like. I'm not a web designer. Todd is not a web designer. We're trying to figure out how to get that built and what that will look like. So more to come on that. But that should be an easier way for you guys to go click that web page and be able to see all the information that you need. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. It's an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's a lot. I don't have anything else. Is there any other questions that we didn't address before we end this?
I think we got everything.
Chris Mitchell's a professional web designer.
We'll talk offline, Mitchell. But yeah, if you have expertise that you can bring to the table, reach out to us. We'd love to see what you guys can do to make this our own and make it great. So that's all I got. Appreciate you guys watching, asking questions. Again, more to come. 1,200, and I'll talk to you about it. Okay. Too rich
All right.
for my blood. I need donations.
3,000 to build it.
All right, guys. It was great seeing you guys. Welcome back. I'm back.
Are you back? Are you going to be back for the next one?
When is that? Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'll be here.
All right, you heard it here. Ryan will be here. If not, then
Unless one of these guys get me.
Well,
know.
Todd, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having
thank
me
you
on
for
here.
everything that you've done so far for us, and we're going to be much better of a club having you on the team with us. So we appreciate you coming on and being a part of our group.
You know, I'm not sure about all that, you know, but I'll help where I can.
Well, we appreciate it, Sean. Thank you for everything that you do. Ryan, it was a good seeing you on here again. Hope to see you again soon. Don't put over the sheet over your head, the ghost. We need to see that smile a little bit more often. So,
all right, it's coming back.
You
asked for it.
Well, if you guys plan on going fishing this weekend, if we don't see you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. Just hope that you guys have a great weekend with your family and your friends. And if you're out on the water, be safe. Post some pictures of the fish you catch, tight lines, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Hey, later, fellas.
All right, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And happy.